Hello and welcome to Nimasa This Week, the authoritative nautical program designed to expose Nigerians to the world of shipping and the world of shipping to Nigerians. Under the regulatory watch eye of the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, Nimasa. And yes, Nimasa This Week is the voice of maritime. My name is Ubong Esen and I will be your guide on this voyage.
My name is Sir Dr. Charles Wame, the CEO of Chakin Maritime and Offshore Safety Training Center. You are watching Nimasa This Week, the voice of maritime. Stay tuned.
Welcome back. It's still Nimasa This Week, the voice of maritime. And yes, we've got more good news for you. No doubt the agency has been notching up wins upon wins upon wins, especially in the last couple of weeks. And this time round, it was the turn of the SPOMO Act. Yes, the Suppression of Piracy and Other Maritime Offences Act, signed into law by Mr. President in 2019 to help provide the legal strength to tackle piracy. Only last week, the agency, through the instrumentality of the SPOMO Act, was able to secure convictions of offenders as far as the maritime domain is concerned. You get to find out more about that in the special package on today's episode. As always, you get to find out on the DG's diary what Dr. Bashir Jamo has been up to in the past 1 week, plus our other regulars. So if you're ready, it's anchors away.
The Director General of the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, Nimasa, Dr. Bashir Jamo, recently played host to the Norwegian ambassador to Nigeria, His Excellency Nuit Lin. While receiving the ambassador, Dr. Jamo noted that the relationship between Nigeria and Norway as maritime nations has been on for so many decades, and that Norway has helped to broker peace not just in the maritime sector but also in other aspects internationally.
Their interest stems largely not only in the maritime industry but globally, to see how they can broker peace whenever there are disagreements between government and agitators. So as far as the discussions I had with him, it doesn't stop on the issue how we can deal with the insecurity in the global region, but to work towards the lasting solution, not only for us of using force, but also what other issues, what other things you are putting in place to ensure that you sustain the tempo and you will be able to address the issue far beyond use of force.
Responding, His Excellency Nuit Lin stated that Norway as a maritime nation is always ready to strengthen maritime security in the Gulf of Guinea, while commenting on the recently released International Maritime Bureau Piracy Report for the second quarter 2021.
Norway on our side work now as a member of the Security Council to look at ways to strengthen the maritime security here in the Gulf of Guinea. And we do that in close partnership with Nigeria. So it's one of those conversations that I really appreciate and that I have with Nimasa, but also with the Navy and with the Foreign Ministry. So this was yet another good occasion to come and be updated and also update on our efforts. If this trend continues, let's keep watching it. Let's keep making our joint efforts to have that trend continue. because we as a small but big maritime nation have several ships here every day. You have big interests economic-wise in fighting this, so let's hope it continues, and it's positive news.
The DG Nimasa appreciated the efforts and contributions of the ambassador and that of the Norwegian government towards addressing maritime security challenges, especially in the Gulf of Guinea. The Maritime Organization of West and Central Africa has held its 8th session of the Bureau of Ministers and 15th session of the General Assembly in Kinshasa, Democratic Republic of Congo. The Nigerian delegation, led by the Permanent Secretary of the Federal Ministry of Transportation, Dr. Magdalene Ajani, and supported by the Director General of Nimasa, Dr. Bashiru Jamo, and other directors of the ministry, took out time as part of the build-up to the elections to pay a courtesy visit to the Nigerian ambassador to the Democratic Republic of Congo, His Excellency Engineer Omar Suleiman, at the Nigerian Embassy in Kinshasa. They also used the visit to solicit for the support of the ambassador and Nigerians residing in the Democratic Republic of Congo to influence support for the candidacy of a Nigerian, Dr. Paul Adaliku, vying for the Secretary General of the Maritime Organization for West and Central Africa. It is noteworthy that this is the first time Nigeria is seeking to produce a Secretary General for MOCA in the 46-year history of the multilateral body, and had been very committed to the growth and sustenance of MOCA from inception. Introducing the Nimasa Distress Response Call Lines for all maritime stakeholders, ship owners, seafarers, ship captains. Whatever your challenge or distress in the Nigerian maritime domain, please call 0803 0685 167, 0708 0005 956, 0700 0700 010. If you can't reach us on these lines, please call 0700 0700 020, 0700 0700 030. Also via VHF Radio Channel 16. Call and Nimasa will respond. The Suppression of Piracy and Other Maritime Offences (POMO) Act 2019 provides the curbing of piracy and other maritime offences while giving effect to the provisions of the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea 1982, as well as the Convention for the Suppression of Unlawful Acts Against the Safety of Maritime Navigation 1988. The POMO Act Section 3A defines piracy as an illegal act of violence, detention, or depredation committed for private ends by the crew or any passenger of a private ship or aircraft as directed in international waters against another ship or aircraft or against a person or property on board the ship or aircraft. This POMO Act was passed by the 9th National Assembly and signed into law by President Muhammadu Buhari in June 2019.
Let me seize this opportunity to thank Mr. President by ascending that particular act into law, making Nigeria one of the first countries in the world to have a separate law that can try these pirates.
Before the enactment of the law, prosecution of suspected sea criminals was a big challenge, but the law has provided the needed legal backing to prosecute and punish maritime offenders such as ship hijackers, kidnappers, pirates, and other violators and criminal elements at sea.
Courts, they find it very difficult to align what is being presented to them in terms of evidence on how to prosecute these criminals because of lack of the legal instrument. Today, we have the legal instrument in place. By next month, we are expecting another set of judgment from the Lagos Federal High Court. Of course, we have made a very good, strong case, and we have to believe justice will be on our own part.
Before now, yes, there were provisions, there were laws, several laws, were being used to try these offenders, and they were not really effective. But now, with the SPOMO Act, it is easier to know who does what. It is easier to know what offense of piracy, for instance, is as different from the offense of armed robbery, as different from the other offenses, because there are several maritime offenses. So the SPOMO Act properly now defines what these offenses are, what the punishments are, which courts have jurisdiction to try offenders, and the fines applicable, which agency of government coordinates the activities.
In recent judgments, a federal high court sitting in Lagos presided by Justice Ayokunle Faji sentenced 10 pirates to 12 years imprisonment, each upon conviction on all the 4 counts, charged them for hijacking a Chinese fishing vessel, FV Hai Lafong 2, in May 2020. Those convicted were Frank Abaka, Jude Abaraga, Shino Alolo, Joshua Iwiki, David Akinsheye, Hamed Toyin, Shobajo Said, Adekole Philip, Matthew Massey, and Bright Agbedei. The presiding judge also ordered each of the pirates to pay a fine of 1 million naira, while the various currencies recovered from them were forfeited to the federal government of Nigeria. The judge said that the offense committed by the defendants affects the well-being of Nigerians and our image in the diaspora. The accused were arrested in May 2021 by the Nigerian Navy and arraigned by the Office of the Attorney General of the Federation on a 4-count charge bordering on the hijack of a Chinese vessel in international waters off the coast of Côte d'Ivoire.
It was with real joy that the agency received the information or the news of the conviction of these 10 pirates who were involved in the hijack of a Chinese vessel.
It should be recalled that the SPOMO Act recorded its first win in August 2020 when a federal high court in Port Harcourt convicted 3 persons accused of involvement in the hijack of an Equatorial Guinean flagged vessel named MV Elubei 6 off Equatorial Guinea's coast. The presiding judge, Justice Mohammed Sani, summarily convicted the accused on 2-count charges and also ordered them to pay a fine of 20 million naira each. Subsequently, a Lagos High Court convicted 7 pirates, which each sentenced to 7 years jail term.
The implementation of SPOMO Act has reached a certain milestone. We have so far received judgment from Port Harcourt High Court convicting 3 foreigners using the SPOMO Act. And recently, we received conviction of 7 criminals, I think with each handed over with 7 years jail terms. This particular progress has brought a very good image of Nigeria in the international community.
The SPOMO Act is working, and this gives a message, a strong message, sends out a very strong message to would-be pirates or the criminals out there. That is no longer business as usual. It's not business as usual because if you do the crime, you face the consequences.
Other stakeholders also shared their thoughts on the conviction. Engineer Greg Ogbefun, a shipping magnate, bears his mind.
Naturally, everybody is happy to see that this Promo Act really has a teeth and can bite. I think that's a very strong message that has been sent out because, as you know, there are many acts in this country that are there and they're not having the desired effect. So the fact that this act has developed to a level where the judiciary have the confidence to actually implement the provisions of the act is a very strong message to those who are in this piracy business. And also, more importantly, it's a strong message to the world that Nigeria genuinely means the business of trying to tackle this piracy issue, at least in our waters, and more importantly in the Gulf of Guinea. So for the operators, naturally, we are all very happy that hopefully with this, the incidences of piracy will naturally reduce.
Barrister Margaret Orakwesi, a trawler owner and former president, Nigeria Trawler Owners Association, also has this to say.
We are excited. It means a lot to an investor. It gives you peace of mind. It will also attract more investors to know they are coming to operate in a relatively safe environment. It's also a plus for the country because we all know the premium we pay for insurance cover. We also know that freight is quite high in the country. For goods coming to Nigeria, the freight is just astronomical and is the most expensive for any African country. And the reason is we are being treated as if we are in a war zone. So with what is happening now, at least the whole world knows that we are making efforts and we are trying to catch the criminals.
Obviously, this conviction has proven the SPOMO Act as an efficacious legal instrument and a major tool in Nigeria's quest to end piracy in Nigeria and the Gulf of Guinea, and also signaling to the international community Nigeria's determination and commitment to ending maritime criminalities in the region.
Nigeria is doing a whole lot to ensure that maritime crime is totally curtailed.
The Nigerian Navy have since handed over the convicted pirates to the correctional services. Introducing the Nimasa Distress Response Call Lines for all maritime stakeholders, ship owners, seafarers, ship captains. Whatever your challenge or distress in the Nigerian maritime domain, please call 0803 0685 167, 0708 0005 956, 0700 0700 010. If you can't reach us on these lines, please call 0700 0700 020, 0700 0700 030. Also via VHF Radio Channel 16. Call and Nimasa will respond. The Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, Nimasa, held a two-day workshop on the designation of Marine Protected Area at Radisson Hotel in Lagos. Stakeholders representing government agencies, institutions, and communities were brought together to deliberate and make contributions towards the successful designation of MPAs. It has been identified that human activities at sea, such as shipping, oil and gas exploration, and other subsea systems, disrupt the serenity of the marine ecosystem through various forms of pollution. Consequently, the need to protect some areas of the sea which are of significant ecological or scientific importance.
We need to protect our marine ecosystem. It could be cultural, it could be our biodiversity of marine resources. We need to protect it. And this is the way to go according to IMO.
The principal aim of this meeting is to have a guideline in place, to have a legal framework, which is very important when you are setting up things like this. And we are to drive the legal framework with the stakeholders.
Marine protected areas are special areas of the sea that are so designated for protection from damage by human activities as identified by the International Maritime Organization.
This particular program is going to be a continuous program. The first one we are doing is the initial stakeholders engagement. As the Marine Protected Area designated, we can also call the stakeholder and see the level of implementation. From time to time, we're going to review with the stakeholder and see whether if it is functioning well or not.
And so what Nimasa is doing is taking the lead, not alone, and that's why this meeting is important, is engaging the Federal Ministry of Environment, engaging MPA, engaging civil society organizations, consultants, the academia. You can see a full hall, and people are contributing to what their expectation is. And ultimately, I think the goal is it's not Nimasa doing it for Nimasa, it's Nimasa doing it for the improvement of the process within the Nigerian coastline.
I am Engineer Fidel Tokiria, Managing Director, CEO of Nigerian Railway Corporation. You are watching Nimasa this week, the voice of maritime. Please stay tuned.
Welcome back. It's still Nimasa this week, the voice of maritime. And as you can see, a lot is going on in terms of progress and accomplishments in Nigeria's maritime domain. And so, I'd like for you to continue this conversation with us. Tell us what you think about the impact of the SPOMO Act, and we can continue this conversation with the DG of Nimasa on his social media handles, on Instagram, on LinkedIn, and of course on Facebook, all displayed on your screen. Likewise, we have our Nimasa official social media handles, and you can take the conversation there as well. For those of you who are players or are seeking to become players in the Nigerian maritime space, remember, the Nimasa official website remains your first port of call for every information you need, ranging from regulations to marine notices, and of course, the statutory information for running your operations. Thank you for watching today's episode of Nimasa This Week, the voice of maritime. And we hope you found the program of great value as you continue to chart your course in the Nigerian maritime environment. There's a popular salty saying that the ocean makes me to put my whole life into perspective. I hope that's the case for you. My name remains Ubong Isien, asking you to stay on course. Bye-bye.